In 1873, farmers in Minnesota looked on in horror as a great cloud of black emerged rushing from the west and fell upon their crops, a biblical plague of locusts that threatened to end agriculture as they knew it. This was all part of a wider crisis in which literal trillions of grasshoppers swarmed and destroyed crops across much of America, but Minnesota in particular was hit very hard. Years passed as the grasshoppers continued to eat and lay eggs, devastating the already poor farmers of the region. Nothing could stop them. Burning the crop fields couldn't deal with them, financial incentives to kill the locusts couldn't outpace their breeding, and it got to the point where farmers were inventing tools like the hopper dozer, a metal sheet covered with tar that was dragged through a field to catch locusts before being burned. But still, nothing worked. Many turned to the government for help, but successive governors came and went without being able to solve the crisis. By the time Governor John S. Pillsbury, indeed the founder of the modern day company, took the oath of office, the situation seemed hopeless. Mostly because it was hopeless. In a very real way, the farmers had tried everything available to them at the time. They were fighting not only an army a trillion strong, but the concept of exponential growth itself. There was just no path to victory. Faced with this realization, Pillsbury took the only path left to him: pray. April 26, 1877 was designated a day of mass prayer. Left with no other option, the people all prayed for the plague to end, and somehow it actually worked. That day, God decided to cast Snowgrave. Sunny day turned to freezing rain, then to a full-on blizzard. Snow had fallen, billions must die, and the locusts perished en masse. This was the last major locust plague in Minnesota and the wider United States, and in fact the species involved, the Rocky Mountain locust, went extinct less than 3 decades later, meaning it is literally impossible for a plague of this type to occur again naturally. Pillsbury would go on to be re-elected twice more on the famous slogan, "The Rocky Mountain locust is dead, and Pillsbury Company is alive." Today's fish of the week is Stylophorus caudatus, the deep-sea tubai. This fish is one of a kind, with no close relatives and an uncertain place on the family tree of fish. It feeds by enlarging its mouth to 40 times its original size and then venting the excess water out of its gills, leaving only its planktonic prey behind.